Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the TTT of the Tenacious Turtle Tussle number 14, the final edition of this year of 2023. I can't believe it's already the end of the year. We're already here in December, and this is going to be the finale, at least for now, for the Tenacious Turtle Tussle. And here we go, we have our first matchup, we have our first series, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Site Delta, we have the Chinese Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Clan JSL. It is Xing Ming. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent, we have the best player in all of Costa Rica, we have the purple Zerg player representing Team License to Kill. It is Eon. Let us go. For those that are maybe tuning in for the first time here, I'm of course host Live VIP, and we are here in our last edition here of the year of our bi-weekly tournaments, region locked tournament, by the way, for those that are curious, exclamation mark B in the chat to have a look at the back of yourselves. This is a region locked tournament to the regions of Asia, North America, and Latin America as well. Basically EPT Asia and EPT Americas. We do not include players from Europe or players from South Korea. So God, I'm almost dying. But yeah, we do try to kind of support these smaller regions in the scene. As a result, again, this event is region locked. If you wish other events that aren't region locked, hosted by the CranKy Ducklings, I mean, that's why we have Sparkling Tuna Cup. That's kind of our open tournament. We also have GPO, which is again another region locked event that we have. But again, our goal here is to support some of these other smaller regions that are in need. And if you want to help support us as well and support these tournaments, exclamation mark Patreon is the place to do it, to help fund our events, grow them, and hopefully even make them more regular. At the moment, we do host them every 2 weeks. If we do hit certain goals, we can turn them into, well, from bi-weeklies into weeklies. For now, though, we're in our first matchup, and Eon going gasless. Oh boy, I'm ready to sink my teeth into this, as we are going gases here, no gases at all here for Eon, going for a much faster third base, very greedy opener. So usually, because the gases are so late, this leads into roach play, just because it's not really worth investing into gas and then going into ling speed and then slowly getting into that tech. Instead, we kind of skip tech instead. So a very interesting choice of build here for Eon. Meanwhile, Xing Ming has confirmed this, did come in with a probe scout, did see everything in the main, or did see the lack of gases in the main base, saw the faster third base, and is going for a Twilight Council opener. I do like this. I think this is a really good way to try to punish Eon, especially if Eon stays gases for much longer. I'm sure we're going to be seeing a Roach Warren soon, momentarily, and there we go, gases are now being taken, but something like Glaive Adepts or even Dark Templar can punish and cripple Eon before he can really get going. Oh boy. Speaking of, Xing Ming does pull out a gas, so this is looking like Glaive Adepts. Again, only 2 gases in either gas geyser in the main. So everything is looking and leading towards Glaives. There is Glaives in production. We do have a third gateway on the way. We should be seeing a 4th gateway momentarily. There we go, we're going up to 4 gateways. This should just be 4 gate Glaives into a third base. Behind this, after the damage is done, this is not all in by any means, but never mind. That is an extra gateway. This suddenly is all in. This is not 4 gate Glaive Adepts, which is why I'm a little bit concerned when it comes to the gas income. So usually if we double down and go for a 2 base all in, and this is 6 gateways, this is an all in, we go up to 3 workers in each gas geyser, just because we do need the extra gas here for additional production. Regardless, we are going to be committing quite hard, and Eon still working on his gases, still no Roach Warren, still no Bailey Nest, still no Ling Speed, still no nothing. Only drones. Ling Speed does start up, we do not skip it. Spore Crawlers are being thrown down to be safe. Eon doesn't know what's coming, and by the time he does, it could all be over. It could all be over, and here we go. Xing Ming is going to be moving out across the map. Eon back at home, getting getting a 4th. He's crazy. Oh my, the greed here, it's insane. A 4th base before the Roach Warren, now taking more gases. Looking at the units tab, we have 5 queens. That's all we have, 5 queens and 4 lings. There's the Roach Warren now on the way. This should be a kill move. This should more than punish Eon. This should kill him. There's no way he can get away with this, as here we go, the Adepts that make their way in towards the natural base. Queens are helping out. Boys have to be pulled, and so much is going to go down here. We don't have WCS game hard, but you can imagine how high the death toll is as we look here. 26 drones, no shots. And FC Shade into the main base, soon to be 30 plus workers. This is disastrous here. So many drones go down. This is snowballing out of control, and again, Eon was just far too greedy. He cut, not just, there were no corners, 0 corners whatsoever. Every corner was cut. Boys have to be pulled. GG gets called, and Xingming takes game number 1. Oh. GG. GG, well played. Not much to that game other than, again, Eon being as greedy as possible. You can't get much greedier than that. Going gasless, still getting into link speed, taking 4 gases before your Roach Warren, getting into a 4th hatchery. That was wild. And blindly, I would say that that's an okay build to whip out against a Stargate opener. But I have to give credit to the Protoss here. I have to give credit to Xingming here for not just punishing him, but scouting and recognizing kind of the weaknesses in Eon's build and recognizing like what he had available, what he didn't have available to defend, seeing the lack of gases and just very quickly opting to punish it. Not even just going for a 4-gate glaive, just for doubling down on 6 gateways. Oh, that was, yeah, cherry on top. GG. GG. And with that, oh, sorry, I have to fix our race logo. There we go. With that, Xingming does take game number 1, and now we're getting to game number 2. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Hecate, we have our red Protoss player leading the series 1-0. It is Xingming. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the purple Zerg player representing Team License to Kill. It is Eon. Down in this series, looking to fight back, looking to try to force the ace match here, and again, a pretty disastrous start. Honestly, part of me feels like maybe Eon, I was going to say maybe he's unfamiliar with Xingming, but they're both very active on the NA ladder, so Eon should be somewhat familiar with the name, but yeah, just his build, his opener felt so borderline disrespectful. Like it's like, yeah, he just the confidence that he had to get away with so much without scouting his opponent, without confirming what exactly Xingming was up to in a ZVP. Wild, absolutely wild. So I expect us to see a very different, a safer opener this time. It's gonna be a hatch. Oh, it's gonna be a hatch pool opener. Once again, no gas. Okay, good. It's going to be a hatch pool gas. Interesting. So not the most economic opener, but a little bit safer in the end. Going for the faster spawning pool means faster lings, faster queens. Obviously, we're going to be delaying our tech and delaying ling speed, but yeah, with the faster queens, a little bit safer overall. So interesting build. Interesting opener of choice here from Eon. Maybe a little bit concerned that Xingming would try to double down on some kind of cheese early on and try to catch his opponent off guard. Eon just making sure that that is not the case, as the Overlord is coming in for a scout and confirming what is here on the low ground. Oh, there we go. The probe leaves. The probe does escape the clutches here of these bases, and as soon as it leaves, bam, second gas geyser of Roach Warren. You saw the Giga Greed of Eon in game number 1. Now here is the polar opposite. Now we have aggression. Now we barely have any workers whatsoever, and we're going to be doubling down on our own all-in. So Eon being hyper aggressive. Now, to be fair, this is Eon's bread and butter. If you're unfamiliar with Eon, he is one of the more aggressive, cheesier Zerg players in Latin America, if not the cheesiest and the most aggressive Zerg player in Latin America, period. So yeah, this is kind of his wheelhouse, is what he's known for. The Adept does go in, does confirm the lack of third base, does see the lack of droning here at the natural. We saw once again another Twilight Council opener. We have pulled out of gas. It's looking like Glaive Adepts for a second time. Shield Battery is on the way. It looks like Xingming may not have scouted the all-in, but now we recognize what's going on. We do see the early Roach Warren. Now he knows. Ooh, one drone is going to go down. We're looking for a second worker as well. We will get it. 2 workers go down in the main. Ravagers are on the way. Eon, he's going to be sending everything across the map. Link speed is on the way. It's going to kick in by the time the army does get across the map. And it's going to be on our Protoss to defend. Second shield battery on the way. Second pylon as well, which is a little bit misplaced, but is now going to get thrown down. Fun fact, it was actually placed right next to the shield battery, is repositioned to make sure there's enough room between it so biles don't destroy both at the same time. So, I mean, having the wherewithal to actually, you know, have that kind of SimCity setup as Eon is sending everything across the map. Again, the biles are to knock down the wall, the Lings are to flood on through afterwards. We have a shield battery, we have a sentry, we have a force field available, as well as the shield batteries, the overcharge. Ooh, one adept does go down. DPS is just a little bit too high. Force field zeroing out. The Lings are flooding in, but we have the overcharge. We do keep the adept alive. Lings are being shut down. Second sentry does for the biles. Ooh, the biles, they take down 2 more sentries. Big pickoffs. Very valuable pickoffs here for Eon. And we are just breaking on through, but the Immortal has arrived. We have boys being pulled, and the Immortal stands strong. Doesn't focus out the Ravagers yet. There's still 3 of them alive. The Lings, they just keep flooding in. The wall is still not a wall. The Vials, the surround, up, the Immortal. The Immortal is barely going to go down as well. Oh my god. We are desperately trying to warp in a couple of units. Zelt's going to fall. We have 1 Ravager left. Lings, they continue to flood in. Have we done it? Have we broken him? It looks like we have. 2 more gates are on the way, but they're not done yet. And it looks like there's nothing left. I thought that Xingming had held. I thought it was over when that 1 Immortal was focusing down Ravagers, but no, the Lings, they just keep flooding in, and it looks like our Protoss has almost nothing left. We have a couple of Adepts coming in to help reinforce. There's no upgrades, there's no glaives. The whole position micro for the Lings, not too bad. We're trying desperately here to warp in an extra wave of Adepts. Xingming down to 20, now 17 probes. 21 workers went down. We still have Lings here on the low ground as well. Plenty of pylons. We are soon to have another shield battery overcharge. There it is! The overcharge barely keeping the adept alive. Yeah, we have to wait it out. We have to try to wait it out. And Xingming isn't dead yet. Again, the worker counts are pretty comparable with each other. Eon is droning. Are we macroing out of this? We could. Oh, the surround! We could if there wasn't a surround here. The adepts, they do get caught out outside of range. Shield battery does what it can, but runs out of energy, and it looks like we barely have enough. Can we overwhelm? We barely catch 1 more adept. Oh my god, but how many do we have in total? We've got 6 adepts here for Xingming. Aye. And we've held. It was a messy hold. it was a messy hold here for Xingming, but a hold nonetheless, as we may have lost how many probes? 22 workers, but we have 16 left over. Eon only has 22 drones. Like, again, Eon was all in. Eon's worker count is not ideal, so killing the mineral line and killing all these probes at the natural is not good enough. And Xingming is slowly going to be stabilizing. Now, what's important is that Eon was droning a little bit, did make a handful of workers, but cut workers here at 22. He is not droning any further. We're doubling down. We're going for a second wave. Well, we're throwing down a 3rd battery behind this, don't get me wrong, but we're doubling down for a second all-in. Meanwhile, a Dark Shrine is on the way. Oh, God. Dark Shrine, Dark Templar, they would shut this down. Not like this. Not like this, Bobby. No sentries to force field, so this wall is looking a little bit more vulnerable. Biles are going to be connecting, and they will almost pile down that pylon. Ooh. Overcharge spot. We just have to buy time. Again, there is 0 detection right now. Adepts, they shade across the map. They get into the mineral line. Drones are going down. As they shade towards that main base as well. Again, the rallied Lings not quite catching these adepts. They're getting a lot done. The Ravagers are breaking through, but we're on a timer. Adepts are wreaking havoc. They're just eviscerating that mineral line. The Lings, they bust in, but the Dark Shrine's about to finish. It's about to complete. No shot. Probes are falling. We break the natural, but the natural doesn't matter. We have to break into the main. There we go. We take down the Stalker. We take down a couple of adepts. The DTs are coming in. Vials. We don't see. We don't know. Oh my god, but we do break through the army, and even though there is a Dark Templar, we can still clean up all these probes. DT's putting in a lot of work, but probes are going down. The Biles! Massive vials. Every single worker's gonna go down. GG gets called, and Eon ties up the series 1-1. Oh my god. That was crazy. GG, well played. Eon barely pulling off the all-in. Again, if we only had a couple of extra units or even a faster Dark Shrine, just unfortunately the DTs came in a little bit too late. By the time they did, as we saw, there just wasn't enough DPS to actually protect the mineral line and keep the worker count safe. Eon was able to just focus everything down, and that was pretty close. That was yeah. That was uncomfortably close. Oh my god. And now we're getting into the ace match. It all ends in game 3 on hard lead. Here we go. Meanwhile, welcome in the chat. I do see Liquid Clan. I see Slowbro, Complete, Hatsu, Demi. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you. Thank you all for jumping by, for the support, as we delve into the ace match, the final game here of this best of 3. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of hard lead, we have the Chinese Protoss player, the red Protoss, representing team JSLS. It is Xing Ming. And in the top left, we have as opponent, we have the best player in all of Costa Rica. We have the purple Zerg representing team License to Kill, LTK. It is Eon. Oh boy. Here we go. We do have our overlords being sent out, and hard lead is one of the shorter rushes maps in the map pool. Aggression is typically expected on a map like hard lead, and I'm not saying there's going to be a 1-base all-in as we saw previously, but Twilight Council openers, 3-base saturation into a big queen push, or a roach base all-in on 2 bases. That is more of what we expect to see here on a map like this. Again, especially once these rocks get knocked down, or if you have a creep highway set up, you can get across the map very quickly, and I expect that to be the case here. We do have, again, a hatch gas pool opener here from Eon, something a lot more standard, looks a little more macro oriented, but my eyes are on Eon to see kind of what he brings to the table and where he does take this. Meanwhile, Xing Ming now a little bit more aware of his opponent's aggressive potential and aggressive proclivities, and yeah, we'll see how they adapt to each other in the ace match. I'm ready for it. Now, Xing Ming did go for a Twilight Council opener 2 games in a row. I'm curious if he does so again, or if he has a Stargate opener inside his wheelhouse. You know, does he have that available to him? Can he bring that to the table? What does he have to offer? For now, spawning pool is finishing up. Queens are on the way. Everything is looking normal. The probe is going to be leaving the main, but we've seen that as soon as that happens, that's when chaos can kind of ensue. No second gas. No second gas, guys. We're investing into Ling speed. We are staying in gas. This is interesting. This is intentional and something that is not of the norm. Usually in this matchup, you get Ling speed, you pull out, you focus on mineral production until you get your 3rd base, then you work on a Roach Warren at around the 4-minute mark. The 3rd is on the way, but the fact that we're still committed to gas mining here leads me to believe that we're going to be aggressive. We could invest into a faster lair because of this. We could go into faster upgrades, a faster Roach Warren, of course, a Baneling Nest. There are options. Meanwhile, back at home, Xing Ming, speaking of, yeah, there it is. Because we kept mining gas, aggression was on the mind, and it is going to be a Bane bust from Eon. Meanwhile, Xing Ming is going for a Stargate opener, not an Oracle. That's a little bit concerning. The Void Ray is a really good way of shutting down Overlords and denying vision from your opponent, and denying the scout of the follow-up tech. But this also means that the Oracle is going to be delayed, which means the scout is delayed. That's what's important. The Oracle isn't just about economic damage, it's about scouting. But here we go, the Adept comes in. The Adept up does see the gas mining, and we do knock it into the main base. That was suspect though. The boys were pulled to try to kill it. That was a little bit, again, not of the norm. But I don't know if that's enough. That's enough of a tell. I don't think that is. And there we go, Lings, they're flooding across the map. A Void Ray has arrived. The Overlord is being shut down, but the Bane Bust is upon us. And we're taking a third. No! We're taking a third. Xingming with the misread. He thinks it's a normal game. He has seen nothing that has really tipped him off, and the Bane Bust is coming. And we have what to defend? We have 2 gateways. We have an Oracle that's on the way. The Oracle can help. The Oracle will help, actually. Up. The Banelings have been spotted. Void Ray is going to try to focus him down, but the wall has been broken. The Lings, they busted as well. The sentry is going to go down. We barely do force field in time, but we break into the mineral line. Probes are falling left and right. The Oracle has arrived, and it will make short work of these Lings. We clean this up. Lings have been cleaned up, and even though Xingming did just lose 8 probes, we have defended. We have held. We have a full wall, and we even have a third base. Oh, we're trying for a second Bane Bust. Still just flooding Lings across the map. We're droning a little bit at least, but we're committed. Especially with Xingming getting away with a third, Aeon has to do damage. She has to either bust in and kill the mineral line, or at least deny the third base. And he hasn't seen it. He doesn't know. Doesn't know that the third has been taken. Otherwise, these Lings have a lot of work to do. Meanwhile, behind this, we have a second Stargate and a fleet beacon on the way. We are rushing into Tempest or Carriers. Either or, both would be amazing in this situation. Oracle gets across the map. We're killing workers. We confirm that droning is occurring. Big scout here for Xingming. We do barely escape with the Oracle as well. Meanwhile, the Lings, they will check the third. They will see that it's already up and running, and we need to deal with this. Thankfully for Aeon, there is no shield battery. But the positioning here, the SimCity, is a little bit brutal. The Oracle is out of energy. We will break through these adepts. We will get into the mineral line. I don't think we can kill the base. It's going to be close. We honestly, we need to. We need to kill this base. We do deal with the shields, and it looks like up. It looks like we will get a kill on the Nexus, just barely. DPS from the Void Ray is not good enough. This is a good start. A good start here for Aeon as he gets the hell out of there. Now, the problem is this. We have carriers in production. We have +1 ship weapons or +1 air attack as well. Now, if Aeon were to check this wall, he would see the upgrade on the Cybercore, and that is a massive tell. That would be enough to tell him it's Skytos. And he needs to check. And he will. Lings are... hopefully he does. Lings, they do dip forward, and they do get eyes on the wall. They should notice that the Cybercore is researching. They should, but I don't know if he did, because we're still droning. Carriers, oh my god, almost reveal themselves. Yeah, Queens are not in production, and these carriers have been successfully successfully hidden. You can see intentionally, so the carriers are pivoting back. And how many Queens do we have? 6. 6 Queens, that is not enough. It's an okay amount, don't get me wrong, but we do need more. Especially to deal with not just 2 carriers, but soon to be 4 carriers. Ideally, you want at least 8 Queens. I mean, ideally more than that, but 8 Queens can be the bare minimum to defend against this. You will have enough engine for transfuse. Spore Crawler, carriers have now revealed themselves, and Aeon is woefully underprepared. Queen's going to be coming in. We are going to be focusing on the hatchery, and that's going to be a cancel on that base. We do focus down one of the Queens. Yeah, all 3 of these should go down. 3 Queens, not good enough. Carrier is taking some damage. But yeah, every single Queen is going to be falling. At the same time across the map, we tried to go for a run by, but alas, we have the Void Ray back in to defend. And these carriers, they're going ham. They're going uncontested. We have a Hydroden in production. We're focusing down the spawning. Okay, I was like the spawning pool. Roach is going for a counterattack, but we have carriers back at home to defend. The Spore goes down. The Queens are going down. 10 Hydras are on the way. But these trades are insane. We're going to get every single worker in the main base. Hydras, they will pick off these carriers, especially if the carriers, if they're a little bit more exposed out in the center of the base. But even then, oh my god, we're just getting so many overlords. The Hydras reveal themselves, the carriers, they can just back off and recall. But they're taking the fight. They're going to win the fight as well. There just isn't enough anti-air. Wasn't enough of a heads up. I'm afraid, look, how many Overlords have gone down? 8 Overlords! And yeah, these Hydras, they can maybe get one carrier, not even. They don't have the range for it, so they get cleaned up, and that's gonna be all she wrote. That's gonna be all we had left. That's every Overlord going down. Queen's now gonna be waddling into the main base. The Hydrogen under threat. We have a Storm on the way for some splash damage. And Xingming is gonna be looking to take the series. Is gonna be looking to advance on here in the tournament. Went all the way to the ace match, but here the Bane Bust just didn't do enough damage. It wasn't worth it. And the carrier rush has just, yeah, been unscattered and just has overwhelmed Eon at this point. Hydrogen has been sniped. Eon still on almost 2 base saturation, but there it is. GG, well played. Xingming will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the next round. GG. That was disgusting. GG, well played. My heart goes out to Eon, and again, like, it's a bit of a give and take. On the one hand, Eon was unable to scout his opponent, so this was like, he was in the dark, he didn't know what was coming his way. But at the same time, the Bane Bust was also a little bit lackluster, right? It's like, it was a shame that the force field went off and that Xingming was able to slow down the Link Flood when he did. And yeah, we just wasn't able to quite execute that in time. Wasn't able to, or Eon wasn't able to do enough damage to really make that Bane Bust worth it in the end. Did kill the third, which was nice, but wasn't enough. Was not enough. And with that, we're going to be moving on here into the next round, and we can take a moment to have a look at the bracket. Here we go. I'm messaging some players. One moment. Oh. And that is the Kung Fu Cup bracket. Hold on. Oh, sorry, no, that's the KSL bracket. Just need a moment to update the link. I got you covered. And yeah, we can go over some of the matches and the tournament itself. Again, a bit of a smaller turnout here, but you know, it's short, it's sweet, and full of quality players. We have, of course, Xingming taking down Eon. Meanwhile, below them, we have Demi up against Spiffy B in a ZBT, currently underway as well. We do have Xingming advancing on to face off against Eric. That's what we're going to be casting here in the next round. Eric, of course, one of our own, one of the CranKy Ducklings. Best Zerg player in all of Brazil. And we also have Hon Mono, the cheesiest Terran player in South Korea, and the best player in all of Japan, is of course waiting for the winner of Demi versus Spiffy B. So he's going to be chilling out there, enjoying himself, drinking some coffee, waking up here this early morning. And Hormono is waiting for that series. So yeah, we do have mainly, actually, a bit of representation from all over the place. You know, from Brazil, Japan, India, America, China as well, Costa Rica. Love to see it. Do love to see it. Of course, today's tournament is double elimination, so even though Eon went down in the first round, he does have a chance to come back. Best of ones. Best of ones in the lower bracket, at least until the lower bracket finals. So yeah, hopefully, I wish the best of luck to Eon. I wish to cast more of him tonight. I want to see more of our lovely Zerg player, and I'm sure we will. I am sure we will. Until then, though, vetoes are underway, and we are setting things up. As just asking for beautiful, asking for this time to have some W6 game hard, so we didn't have to count, you know, how many workers go down, all that good stuff. As we're ready for another ZVP. I'm curious if Eric was watching as well. I'm very curious. I hope he was, because we had some. I mean, I don't know how much we can really learn from Xingming in that last series, just because we had such an aggressive series and we didn't really get to sink our teeth into the mid game. We didn't really get to go up to 3-base saturation. Just wasn't really a thing. but I'm ready for it. Here we go. Readers are done, and we're loading into Site Delta. Oh, welcome Alpha up in the chat. Oh, welcome. GLHF. So we're getting into the rest of this series. I also appreciate, I just noticed, we have some decent race representation as well. Terran, Zerg, and Protoss here in the quarterfinals. And here we go, we're getting into our next series. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Site Delta, we have the Chinese Protoss player representing Team JSLS. Just look down Eon. It is Xing Ming. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Brazilian Zerg player representing the CranKy Ducklings, going for a 15-15 opener. The classic Eric opener. It is, oh, I just said his name, Eric. Vámonos, papi, vámonos. This is going to be a 15 hatch into a 15 spawning pool. This is what Eric did popularize.